Kasi based on your testimonies and based on your investigation, mukhang kung ako tatanungin mo, it's a form of false recruitment kasi papasok nila dito papasok sila dito as turista, pero magko-convert sila into working visa, doon sila papasok sa mga illegal POGO operation. So I'd like to ask Dole, how do you do regular audits in terms of yung pag-accredit ng mga foreign workers dito para maiwasan itong mga para maiwasan natin itong mga foreign work permits?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Doon po sa pag-audit, Mr. Chair, meron po kami tinatawag na mga foreign national labor inspector, sir. Routinely, sir, check po namin yung mga nag-apply po sa aming mga foreign nationals at na-issuean po ng AEP. Kung doon pa rin po sila nagtatrabaho, doon sa mga principal kung saan sila supposedly nagtatrabaho, Mr. Chair. Kasi supposedly po, kung saan principal po sila nag-apply at doon po sila na-issuean ng AEP, nandun lang po supposedly sila eh. So hindi sila pwedeng palipat-lipat, Mr. Chair, unless kumuha na naman sila.
But based on the investigation as a result of the POGO investigation, what other means that you emplaced your office in order to avoid this kind of modus? Kasi napapasukan na nga nila yung ganitong klaseng proseso eh. So how do you recalibrate again? Because I presume this is in interagency, interagency effort. So how do we recalibrate now? From Dole, I believe you do annual audits, no? But
Yes.
how do you manage to recalibrate in such a way that this false recruitment will not be this POGO who actually open up their recruitment agency, pagpasok dito, visa, etc. And then dito, babalik ta rin nila. And then, mas lalo pang lalaki yung kanilang manpower na po pwede nilang gawing trabahante nila sa kanilang mga illegal POGO operation.
Mr. Chair, sa POGO application, Mr. Chair, actually mas stricto po yan, Mr. Chair, no? Meron lang, hindi po lahat pwedeng mag-recruit or pwedeng mag-process po ng mga AEPs natin, Mr. Chair. Meron po tinatawag tayo mga authorized personnel, sir. Yung po yung mga authorized lang ng Dole na pwedeng umayos po or mag-facilitate po ng application ng AEP po. So kung hindi naman po din sila authorized, Mr. Chair, hindi rin din po sila i-allow po sa loob or sa office po namin.
Yes, BI, may gusto kang sabihin?
Yes, Your Honor. Yung pong
You get the point I'm trying to drive at?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, oo.
Yung pong actually yung pag-convert from tourist to visa from tourist to 9G commercial visa or any other type of visa allowed po under the law yan na pagdating po nila dito allowed sila na i-convert yung application yung visa nila other than a tourist visa. Pumapayag na po yung may existing law po tayo sa ganyan. So, dito po, nangyayari, kaya normal lang po talaga na papasok ng mga yan bilang turista, and then pagdating po dito, saka po sila magko-convert to another type of visa.
Okay, yung pagpasok po, Yusek Cruz, I don't know which agency I need to ask this question. NB, kasi gusto ko lang din po malaman, meron pa ba kayong based on your investigation, I'm sure, meron na kasing lumutaw na mga pangalan, no? Alice Guo, na-involve pa nga si Attorney Harry Roque and many others. Based on your investigation, may lumulutang pa ba na other names that have records? Kasi sinabi mo, this is an international network, illegal network operation. In many other countries, they have transferred their operation from the Philippines and other countries, vice versa. Are new names been popping up during your investigation that have already cases abroad? Merong pending cases abroad? But aside from yung mga nahuli na at na-identify na ng mga pangalan, at may nakasuhan pa ba ng mga other personalities?
May mga lumulutang pa po, sir, na pangalan, sir, na dito sa mga bagong huli natin, sir, may mga lumulutang pa rin na pangalan na nakita na natin doon sa mga nauna, sir. Ibig sabihin, sir, hindi natin sila nahuli nung una, nag-ooperate pa rin sila ngayon.
Meron din silang kaso abroad?
Meron po. Yung isa, alam ko, sir, may kaso po siya ng ganyan doon, sir, sa illegal gambling. And the other one, alam ko, sir, sa money laundering.
Yung sa data sharing po natin with international DFA, do you also have that kind of mechanism and arrangement? Yung data sharing in terms of those foreigners who have pending cases abroad, how do you manage to secure this data in order that they, before they can even come in or establish operation or in business here, meron na tayong data at meron na tayong way to track them down, DFA? Kasi may sinabi kanina si Yusek, di ba? Info sharing with other countries So gusto ko lang malaman, who among you, agencies, are in charge to do this, the data sharing? NBI or DFA? Sige, BI.
Sir, from the end of immigration, once a foreigner enters the country po at in-scan yung passport, yung derogatory database po ng immigration, naka-online yon sa Interpol. So,
Okay.
kapag nandun po sa red notice yung individual or any other colored notice ng Interpol, airport pa lang po, nakikita na. And then they can deny that individual entry.
Yusek, itong mga mga bagong mga pangalan, how did you find it out na meron silang may kaso ba sa nag-coordinate ba with the Interpol or tsaka nyo lang nalaman nung nahuli nyo sila dito? Kasi gusto kong malaman yung entry nila kung meron pa lang red tag na pa sa Interpol tapos nandito, paano sila nakapasok?
Yung isang sinusundan namin, sir, alam ko po, sir, merong naka-red flag sa Interpol ito, sir. Lumutang na lang ito, sir, nung inimbestigahan na po namin yung mid-level managers kung sino yung nagpapatakbo. So, nag-come up, sir, itong pangalan na ito.
So, nakita nyo, naka-red flag na sa Interpol, pero nakita nyo during your course of your investigation na nandito siya,
Yes, sir.
nag-ooperate.
Opo.
So, tama pa nga po yung sinasabi ni Manong Romy kanina na hindi sila mag-ooperate dito kung walang nagkukup-kup sa kanila. Mukhang may loophole talaga sa ahensya. Kasi sabi nga ni BI, pag nandun na, pagpasok niya dito at naka-red flag sa Interpol, hindi na makakapasok yan. Pero unfortunately, based on your investigation, Yusek Cruz, meron pa talagang mga personalities na meron ng kaso abroad pero nakakapag-operate pa rin sila dito. Tama po ba?
Yes, sir. Marami po tayong insidente, sir, na nahuli na mga may red notice sa ibang bansa, even Interpol, sir. Nalalaman na lang talaga natin pag nahuli na natin, sir.
Oh, yes. Mr. Chair, if I may continue. Mr. Chair, do you remember DFA? There was last year po or 2 years ago, I don't think gusto ko lang ma-connect ito kasi yung mga personalities na lumabas, Mr. Chair, nung unang nag-investigate tayo, sila Ales Guo, yung mga incorporators, at saka sina Alante. Ito yung inimbestiga po sa public accounts prior to the convening of the Quadcom. Ito ay allegedly they were able to secure their passports illegally, fraudulent, na naging from Chinese, naging national citizen, Filipino citizen sila. So, meron pong balita kasi, Mr. Chair, sa Davao del Sur na 200 plus na mga passports fictitious subject for further investigation. I'd like to know from NBI, kasi kayo po ata yung nag-investigate, what is the status of these fake passports? Because some of the major names that came out during the early stages of the investigation have connection with the Pampanga Porac Pogo and other Pogo operations po.
Mr. Chair, I will revert to the Honorable Adjong. I will get in touch with our regional director in Davao,
Yes.
Albao, Your Honors, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
I do not have the report on hand.
Okay, can you provide this committee an update on that? Because I think, Mr. Chair, very close yung itong kaso na yon at saka yung inimbestiga natin ng Pogo. Kasi alam ko, yung nagpapapo, based on the presentation nga po ng PIDEA, kung matatandaan po natin, talagang well-connected yung Pogo operation at saka yung illegal land accusation, yung mga names na lumabas na mga incorporators, na mga Chinese na posing as Filipino. So I think we also need to see how they operate down to the grassroots level. Kasi nga, sabi nga ni 9,000 plus ang out in the streets. And in fact, DSJJ Suarez has intimated to us and even recommended that we should also get the attention of the ILG so that they can also mobilize